Hi, and welcome to the Unlimited Power series, where we've searched the globe to find some of the most amazing experts. These experts are masters in intuitive guidance, communication with angels and spirit guides, and connecting with the power from within. I've brought these experts together to help you tap into the power within you. My vision is for you to create an extraordinary life to help you reach your absolute potential. My name is Monique Farrell, and I'm your host. I'm honored and I'm blessed to have been able to interview some truly amazing people who are willing to share their stories and proven strategies to help us reach our higher consciousness. I'm really excited today to introduce our expert speaker, Dr. Holly Woods. She is a transformational coach, consultant, and mentor. Welcome, Holly. How are you today?
I'm great, Monique. Thank you. That was such a beautiful introduction. My heart's just like really open from your energy and your enthusiasm for this work. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I am truly excited to learn from you and to share what you have to offer to everyone. Can you first start off, tell us a little bit about yourself and like where you're from and how you started doing what you do?
Great. Well, that could be a long story, so I'll try to keep it short. I live in Northern California, just north of San Francisco Bay area. And let's see, how did I get into this? My story goes, I have told this a few times. I was a child and I had a pretty difficult childhood. At one point, I heard this little voice. So I've had access and been connected for a really long time. This little voice said, "You're here to do important things." And I'm like, what? As a child, like, who are you? Somebody's talking to me. And so I just carried that voice around with me for, all of my life. And life was hard enough as a child that I lost connection. I really became fairly dissociated in childhood and during my teens. Experienced a lot of trauma, had to overcome a lot. And in that process, I was in and out of depression and suicide for about 30 years. Teens through my 40s, really.
It's a long time.
And long time. And one of the things that stayed with me in that time was this voice that says you're here to do important things. And I kept thinking, if I'm here to do important things, why am I suffering so much? Why is this so hard if I'm supposed to be doing important stuff? And in this period of time, I'm just working like a dog trying to figure out how to not suffer, So I was constantly learning new modalities, and I have my doctorate in human development, human behavior, and master coach and certified in this and that and energy work and 30 years of therapy, and I've done it all. I've done so much trying to overcome literally the trauma and the karma and the everything that I came to resolve. And in this period of time, not only did I develop a really awesome toolkit, to help me and others move through challenging lives, but I also came to understand, all of those things were actually on purpose and intentional to help me figure something out, so crack another nut or peel another layer of the onion that I wouldn't have done had life been easier. Mm-hmm. So really, I've come to a place that I see everything, all of that really was truly a blessing. That I came back to get, a whole boatload of this stuff done out of my energy structure and out of, the karmic wheel, so that I can better serve humanity and the planet at this really important time. So that's kind of what I'm about. Is I came to be really intentional in this lifetime, and to really move those of us who are here to do big, important stuff in this world and have an impact. To let's move through this. Mm-hmm. Get on with it.
Yeah, that's what. As you were telling that's what I was thinking. If you hadn't gone through what you went through,
absolutely,
would you be able to serve the way
Nope.
you are serving right now?
Nope, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, when I tell my story to most people, they're just like horrified because I've really experienced almost every trauma that a human being can experience. I haven't been to war, and I haven't, you know, someone in my family hasn't been murdered, but pretty much everything else I've experienced. And it's easier to tell it that way. But I don't consider myself, at this point, having worked through all of that, I don't consider myself a victim. I feel very blessed. I've been given lots of opportunity. I've always been connected. So I've never been alone. It took me a while to come back to owning that and claiming that I'm always connected to the oneness, to my guides, to you know, the great cosmos, God, however you want to describe it, and that it serves all of us to bring us to a greater, more you know, unified understanding that we're in this together.
Yes.
We cannot do this alone or separate, which just, you know, makes me so happy to have all of us as my buddies.
And that's where we all want to be, is that happy place, right? And to be happy with ourselves. And if you thought of yourself as a victim, you wouldn't be in that happy place, and you wouldn't be able to do what you do.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about, tell us what is a superpower?
Yeah. So I consider a superpower one of the facets of your purpose. So my purpose, which I used not to say publicly, I don't know, I was embarrassed and people would think I'm weird, but I'm weird anyway, so it doesn't matter, is to speak powerful truths, to shine love onto shadow, to liberate soul's potential and reunite love and power. And so I have many superpowers in that description of my purpose, and one of them is speaking powerful truths. Because I see so clearly, I have all the, you know, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, like you put it in front of me, I'm going to know what it is and read it. And, you know, I feel and see energy. So I speak powerful truths because I have access to so much, and I have the courage, having gone through what I've gone through, to be in my truth. It's like, you can kill me, you can maim me, you can torture me. I've been there, done that. Like, I'm not afraid of it anymore. And that's, you know, like, you can, a narcissist right here, like, yeah, what do you want? And then I shine love onto shadows. So because I've been through so much of my own shadow and challenges, that I really have deep compassion for what we as humans experience. And so I'm able to really love people deeply, no matter what their issue is, whatever their challenge is, whatever that shadow is. I can shine love onto it and help people love themselves in a new way. So that's a superpower for me.
That's a big point right there.
Yeah, it's really fascinating that I have, you know, like the world is my friend, because there aren't people I don't love. And I mean, there just aren't any. I love everybody. No matter what. That's my new mantras. I love everybody no matter what. And then I help people liberate their soul potential by digging really deep and pulling out the puzzles of who you are and looking at the whispers of your life. And so there are many superpowers in my description of my purpose, and I help people find their own superpowers to help them live a life more aligned with why they really came to the planet in this lifetime. And then activate those powers. That's the key, is, you know, they're not just there to be hidden. They're there to be activated. Live into them.
So you say you help by loving people, it helps them to love themselves. And that is a way to discover their own superpower. Do you have other ways that people, you know, you must have other steps for them to help discover their own?
Yeah. So there are three main pieces of my work, and I have like hundreds and hundreds of exercises and, you know, blah, blah. So many tools at this point of my disposal. But three main pieces of work. And one of the first piece really is to dig deep into your purpose. So figuring out who you are, why you came here. And so I use your existing life, and we look at the whispers of what's happened in your life. And from that, we gain, I'm a scientist as well, so we gain data about who you are. We talk to your future self, your past self, your entelechy. We do a lot of direct encounter work with your soul. We talk to friends and colleagues and talk about the thing you do without trying, and what would you die for. There's a lot of different ways I really get at the kernel of your essence to figure out who you are and what you came to be and experience and express in this lifetime. So that's one piece. And then the second piece is helping you get out of your own way. So this shadow work, the roadblocks and the blind spots that we have, the limiting beliefs that we actually can't see most of the time. We may have some sense of it. When I do that, this comes up and I have this doubt about. So I help people see where they get stuck because of their own conception of themselves. So we create an inconceivable vision of who you are. And then we dig deep into the limiting beliefs that are keeping you in your current conception of self and work through that. So I use a lot of somewhat traditional, sort of therapeutic methods. I do a lot of voice dialogue, but I also do some really innovative stuff with affirmations and other customized exercises with people that help you move through the limiting beliefs, a lot of belief work. And then the third piece is actually, once we figure out who you are and why you're here and we get you out of your way, then boom, I set you on your course. And I'm a long-time serial entrepreneur. I've built and scaled businesses. I've done, national projects, et cetera. And I love helping people really live into their life. So taking step by step, low risk, not, don't go jump off a cliff so you can move into that life or walk in the desert. Don't go walk in the desert for a year. That's not going to actually get you on purpose. So what can you do in your current life that's realistic and low risk, that's going to help you understand? So is that step useful? No, let's back up and do another step. So you can begin to live that life that is an expression of your superpowers.
That's awesome. We talked briefly earlier about being a victim, and a lot of people become the victim, and it could be the victim of something very small or something very huge that has happened in their life. But do you find that is a huge block for people that can't end up finding their superpower because they are in that victim mode? Absolutely.
I mean, it's one of the most prevalent contributors to why we are where we are as a species, truly. Many of us, if you'd figured it all out, you wouldn't be here in the skin bag, right?
Yeah.
So we came back to do this work. That's primarily why we're here.
Yeah.
And if you think you're here for any other reason, you need to get your head checked, because every single one of us has stuff.
Yeah.
And part of that stuff is believing that the things that happen to you are good or bad. And if we were to experience life as it comes at us as, oh, it just is, here comes a truck about to run over me. Well, that's cool. What am I going to do? Do I take a step to the right or to the left? Or do I stand here and get squashed? And life is kind of like that. There's always stuff coming at us. How do we choose to be with it? How do we encounter it? How do we resist it or react to it as opposed to respond in a way that's more productive? And so in your past, if you didn't respond to life productively and you ended up squashed and hurt and injured and traumatized, whatever, terrorized, I've been there, you still have to pick yourself up. It's like, oh, what did I learn there? Well, that was interesting. I should have gotten out of the way of that, or gotten to the hospital sooner. And believing that, I own that was my experience. I called that in because I evidently needed to have some experience like that. And what did it teach me, and how can I do it differently next time? And what are the things that tell that about me and my triggers and my reactivity? So at this point in my life, I've been doing this so long, and I teach my clients to do this, that when I see things coming at me, whether or not I can affect them, I see it coming. It's like, oh, look, here is something coming at me. And that's interesting. I wonder what I'm going to get from that. I bet you there's a great lesson in that. And it happens. And I'll have a little reaction. My somatic experience, does its thing. And then I pull myself out of that. And it's like, that was fascinating. What was I supposed to get from that? And I just almost immediately begin dissecting the thing that I got from that experience, because that's the way it is, and instead of doing this huge traumatic reaction to life as it occurs.
That's a very beautiful way of reacting to something, where most people, something is happening, they are the worst judge of themselves.
Yeah.
The things they say to themselves. And I mean, I've done it myself. I'm sure you have.
Yep.
We are the worst bullies in the world.
We are.
We ourselves.
Yep.
And to be able to dissect it the way you did and learn from it and then move on to the next lesson, I think it's a beautiful way to describe the process you should actually go through when something is coming at you.
Thank you for saying that, Monique. And this is the blessing of having been through everything I've been through. Mm-hmm. It's one of the benefits, the side benefits of having had so much trauma. And it also is the gift that I'm here to teach people. And this is about the beliefs that we all have, the critic and the examiner and the controller and the whatever. And this morning, actually, I was talking to one of my friends and like, let's have an inner celebrator. Okay, I can put that in there with all my other inner people, inner voices. And so it's a very refined talent that I've acquired over many years of doing deep personal work, after much trauma and really challenging life. I wouldn't wish this life on anybody, but I've survived it and I'm really happy to be here. And it's this gift I have. So it's actually one of my superpowers, to be able to see things as they're coming at me. And instead of running in terror, I'm like, oh, what is that about? Isn't that curious? And it happens all day, and in doing so, then we can be with life as it's happening. I can be present. I never leave. I don't go somewhere. I don't repress stuff. It doesn't get hidden and have to surface again a year from now. I get it. We do it. I've dealt with it. It's gone. I don't have to do that ever again. So I don't repeat things. I'm not hitting my head on the wall because I didn't get it the first time. So literally life becomes easier when you opened up to the vulnerability of, here I am, human, I've screwed up again, and I'm going to have to deal with something that I wish I didn't have to deal with. It's actually an easier way. It sounds harder, but it's actually much easier.
So you're embodying your own superpower to elevate your life and what you're getting out of your life. We talked briefly, and things that get in the way. Is there sometimes it's too insurmountable that someone can't get out of their own way to reach that superpower? Or do you, with your steps, and I'm sure everyone has different timelines of doing it, but I want the audience to know that they can find their superpower.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody can.
Exactly.
There's no, in fact, I'm still unearthing superpowers as I mature and become a more whole and healthy human being. I'm constantly unearthing something that was hidden, that behind some shadow. Like, oh, look at that, I didn't know I had that. Everybody can reach their superpowers, and in fact, everybody already has access to their superpowers.
I believe that
at least one or a half a dozen things that we do in life that we aren't aware of because we can't really see ourselves. And so one of the things I encourage people to do is go ask people who know you best, your best friend or your family, or the people you work with who see you day in and day out, and can see the things that they value in you and ask them, so what is that thing I do that supports you in some way or helps you transform that I can't help but do? I do it every time I enter the room. I can't not do it. I would almost die before I could stop doing it. We all have, for me, it's like being in the truth. I can't help but tell the truth. It's just such a part of who I am. And it's gotten me killed in a few lifetimes. Quite a few actually. But it's the thing I do, one of the things I do. And so everybody has one of those things. And so the easiest way to go figure out one of your superpowers is just to ask people that question. So what is it I do? And it might take a little digging to get at that, but that's one of the things. And that thing is here as a gift for you in your life and for the people around you and the people that you intend to serve.
For sure.
Yeah, and it almost always also has a shadow side. So, my truth-telling did not always look pretty. It's gotten me in trouble a few times. And so I've learned to use that superpower in ways that serve me and serve the people that I'm with in life. And, that's where I had to develop the compassion and the care, the carefulness and the thoughtfulness as I was telling truths. From my own perspective, this is my truth. This is what I see. It's not necessarily what you see. So there's a lot of ways that I've had to refine and hone that superpower to be really useful, serve better.
And that's a neat way to find it, because like we said earlier, we're the harshest on ourselves, and people see us differently than when we see ourselves. So when someone can say, you know what, this is what I go to you because this is what you give me. Right. And if the person can truly see that in themselves and work on that, would you say that other superpowers start showing themselves? Like it's like almost a domino effect?
Well, it is. And that's a really great insight. Not only is the task itself of going to someone and saying, well, what do you see in me that you value? Hard. I mean, that's a hard question for most. I mean, most of my clients, like, I'm not doing that. Like, yes, you are. and actually, you'll love it once you start doing it. And they're like, no, because it is hard to ask people to tell us good things about ourselves, right? So just the very act of making a request and then receiving and being honored by what someone sees in you shifts the dynamic of a relationship. So it then makes the superpower more special and more honored and revered. So you begin to really see it in your life. So you start noticing, where do I do that thing and how do I do it? And what does it look like? And what does it produce? And then you start beginning to value yourself in new ways so that, other things start showing up.
Yeah.
So great.
A lot of people are embarrassed about compliments and don't know how to take it. So now you're asking someone to give them a compliment. Yep. That is.
Hey, tell me how great I am today.
That is hard to do. But if you can actually do it, I can really see how, like you said, then you start looking at where are you doing that? And that is a good trait to have. That is my superpower.
Yeah. So can you ask me, Monique, can you ask me the question and I can give you a response?
What do you ask you how?
What your superpower is?
Well, what my superpower is? Yeah. Can you tell me what my superpower is, Holly?
One of your superpowers. Oh my gosh. I mean, I just feel it. When we first started talking, you have such a beautiful open heart and invite people to, you're so comforting and you're so easy to talk to that you invite people to share themselves in such an open and vulnerable and enthusiastic way that you actually have more access to me than many people do.
Oh, thank you.
Because you have such an open, beautiful heart and welcoming spirit.
Thank you very much. I'm one of these people that if I get on a bus and there's nobody on the bus and I sit down and then the next stop someone gets on, they're going to come and sit with me to talk to me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah,
and
that's beautiful.
My niece is like that too. It's like, and it's because I think a lot of it too is, and I know I can listen.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, your heart is like wide open, you know, like come be comfy in me. You know, there's some really warm, cozy quality of your heart.
Why? Thank you very, very much. But that is a very hard question to ask.
Yeah, it is. That's why I wanted you to practice.
Well, you know, talking about the superpowers, I wanted to let all the audience know one reason that when I was looking for people in my niche, and when I saw that on your page it had superpowers, and that was what the title of this, Unlimited Powers, because I really, really believe every single person has unlimited powers within themselves, and it's to go through the steps to look within themselves and listen and find it within themselves instead of going outward to the materialistic things. I mean, I'm not saying you don't need those and that they don't make you happy, but if you're not happy inside,
right,
all the rest is not going to make you happy. So when I saw the big superpowers, I'm like, I want to talk to this lady.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
Because it's really, really resonated with me, that power that we do have within. And I could just, I'm going to repeat myself if I keep going, because it's there, and it's, you know, to get people to actually look at that. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to ask my daughter, she's 8, I'm going to ask her to ask certain people, what do you like about me? How can I, or what do I do to help you? And that's something I think everyone should ask.
Yeah. Well, when I told you about the superpowers I have, you know, I've looked back in my life, I was doing that as a child. I was doing these very things. That's when I say I work with people to, you know, to look at their lives, and I call them whispers. Our soul is whispering to us what we're intended to do and how we're intended to serve. You know, every single one of us, no matter what we think we're about, every single one of us actually came back to serve. And we have these really special facets. We're like a, you know, unpolished gem that can't see really how we are intending to serve and what the special qualities of us are. Where's our sparkle? And where's the brilliance in our gem? And when others help us see it, we have an even greater connection to them and to ourselves. So my job, you know, when I came back, was really to help people figure out why they came and to help activate them to, you know, sort of up level into that bigger, bolder, more courageous expression of who they really are. So it's about not only uncovering your superpower, but amplifying it in the world. So your gem is shining brightly. You know, you become this beacon that calls in people who really need your superpower. So,
do you find a lot of your clients are surprised at some of their superpowers that they have, or even surprised at the stuff that they have to get rid of to bring out their superpowers?
You know, yes and no. Yes, initially they're always surprised, you know, almost dumbfounded. And then they realize, oh, wait, actually, I don't know why I'm surprised, because these are things I kind of knew about myself. I just didn't, you know, it was an unconscious knowing.
I didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the voice I heard in childhood that said, you're here to do important things. How I've like, I think I was like 6, you know, 5 or 6 when I heard that voice. And when I was suicidal, I wanted to leave the planet so badly. Oh my gosh. I just really I couldn't imagine staying. And this voice kept saying, Holly, you are here to do important things. Do not forget that. And it's like over and over and over every day. All right. I got it. I'm not going to do that thing. And then it turns out that voice was also telling me I'm here to do important things to help other people find their important things. So really it became the message that was the flow through of why I'm here. I'm here to do important things because I'm here to help other people figure out their important things.
Mm-hmm.
We're each here for some significant, profound, impactful purpose. Every single one of us, I don't care what your job is, where you are in life, what you're doing now, paid or not, you came to be an important, I call it the cosmic tapestry. We're each a golden thread in that cosmic tapestry. And when our golden thread is not present in that tapestry is frayed. And when you think about our world and the way it is, how many of us are missing from that tapestry? And you wonder why the world is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
We're not living our purposeful, meaningful lives. And so if all of us became activated to be our best selves, most fulfilled, most potentiated, activated selves, wow, what the world would be. It would be phenomenal.
It would be. That's beautiful. I love the tapestry, the golden thread. That explains so much. It is so true that we are all connected. We are, and it's it would be such an amazing place if people could find their true purpose and of why they're here.
Yeah, my golden thread wants your golden thread right beside me in that tapestry. I swear that's why I do this work. It's like, I need more friends. More friends who are here with me doing their highest work. So
that's awesome, and it's the more people that we share this with, the more people will find that within themselves and find their superpowers, and actually even question just that first question of, what am I here for?
Yeah.
And then they got to have that question. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people that don't, because they're told as a kid, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to school, you're going to get good grades, then you're going to get a job and you're going to make good money, and then you're going to get married and you're going to have kids. They don't question what their actual purpose is in life because they're told it.
Well, we're not told. I was really lucky to have that voice. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Did my life shift or what? Most of us are not told that we are important and that we matter. Yeah. And that my little life, which, this is funny, this just occurred to me yesterday. I'm both a speck. I'm a speck of a speck, in the cosmos, right? I'm a speck of a speck.
But you're a golden speck.
I'm also this magnificent being.
Yes.
I am so big and powerful. And, at this point in my life, activated. And I am here to do profound work. I am both of those things.
Yes.
I am the whole and I am a nothing. It's both. It's the paradox of our existence as humans on this planet.
Yes.
That we are, it's all fractal, it's all holographic, that I'm just nothing. I have, this much matter in the whole of the cosmos, and I'm also everything.
Yeah, I love that. Nothing but everything.
Yeah, it's a both and.
Oh,
we just need to stop seeing the world as either or and move to it's both and. It's challenging, it's paradoxical. It's not what we expected.
No.
And there's so much opportunity for us to feel and be more blessed.
For sure. We
hold that space.
I absolutely agree with everything you say. I have one final question for you.
Okay, sure.
You have given us so much today, so much of yourself, so much to think about, so much knowledge. My question for you is, how could I serve you?
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm not used to people asking me that question. I'm excited to be a part of this series and to share, all of our wisdom with the world, and would love to share, my work with as many people as are interested in it, and to activate people to be their highest selves. That's really why I'm here. That's the only reason I'm here.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So I would like everyone to please check out Holly's free gift. And also, for more information, help you transform your life, check out her website, www.hollywoodscoaching.com. I want to thank Holly, and I want to thank everyone that joined us today. From the bottom of my heart, I deeply, truly am grateful. Until next time, many blessings. I'm Monique Farrell, your host.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Holly.